Good morning, kids. It's Mr. Edgovich. We're here for Math Minute 12. I'm going to go ahead and get set up so we can get started, and we'll move on from there. So right away in Math Minute today, they hit us with something we have not talked about before, and those are fractions. And we'll talk just briefly about fractions, but this is meant just to introduce them to you. You probably have some experience with them somewhere, but we haven't talked about them in third grade at school yet. So number one says write the fraction that names the shaded portion. Anytime you have a fraction, you have a number of parts, okay? That number of parts, the total number of parts, goes on the bottom. The total number of parts. So when I look at this circle, there are 2 parts to that circle. So I'm going to put a 2 there because there are 2 portions in all. 2 halves make up this whole circle. Only one of those halves is shaded. Because of that, then I want to identify that one shaded portion, and I want to put that 1 on top. And so the shaded portion here represents 1/2 of the circle, or literally 1 out of 2 parts. I know I said that plenty of times, but sometimes kids get confused. The only thing I'm going to add to that is, just so you're introduced to the words, the top number is called the numerator, and the bottom number is called the denominator. And you don't have to write those down. I just wanted to let you know what they were. So we're going to move on from there. Again, that was just to introduce fractions to you. I'll read 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you can go ahead and do those on your own. Number 2 says multiply the numbers. 2 times 5 equals, and they give you some happy faces to help you out. Number 3, circle the digit in the tens place. Number 4, 11 plus 2 equals, and number 5, 8 minus 5 equals. So the rest of those you should be able to complete on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, finish them up, and then come back and check your work. Just finishing up here before we move on. Number 2, 2 groups of 5 equals 10, or the product of 2 times 5 is 10. Number 3, the digit in the tens place is a 6. And I circled that 6. The place value it's in is the tens place, and the value of that 6 is 60 because it's in the tens place. That's just a little refresher there. We haven't talked about that in a bit, so I wanted to remind you. Number 4, 11 plus 2 is 13, and number 5, 8 minus 5 equals 3. So we're going to go on down, or I'm going to slide my paper up, however you want to look at it. And I'll read to you 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ruby has 9 puppies. She gives 4 puppies to Henry. How many puppies does Ruby have left? For questions 7 and 8, use the number line to round the number to the nearest 10. We haven't done that in a while, so that will be interesting. 14 rounds to, and 18 rounds to. And in questions 9 and 10, is this a line of symmetry? Right, yes or no? And remember, a line of symmetry is when an object can be folded or placed directly on top of itself and split equally in half and be exactly the same. So this Post-it note, I have a line of symmetry going vertically. If I fold it in half, it is exactly on top of itself. And then also I drew another line of symmetry here to show that there can be more than one, but here, diagonally, if I fold this Post-it note on top of itself this way, it makes a triangle, but it's equal parts. And the other way to think about it is if I had a mirror here and I just stuck it right in front there, that mirror would reflect the original shape. So that's a little bit more complex to think about, but you have to decide, are these lines of symmetry? So go ahead and pause your video, complete your assignment, and then come back and check in with me. So now that I'm back, number 6, you should have, Ruby has 5 puppies left. Number 7, 14 rounds to 10, because 14 is closer to 10 than it is to 20, so 14 rounds to 10. And number 8, 18 rounds to 20, because 18 is closer to 20 than it is to 10. In questions 9 and 10, is this a line of symmetry? Yes, this is. If I were to fold this rectangle over along that dotted line, it would be exactly the same. And number 10, the heart, no. If I fold along this line, that is not a line of symmetry. If I wanted to make it a line of symmetry, I would have to make my line right here. And then this line would be a line of symmetry because I could fold that heart on top of itself. But placed over here, it's not. It's just a line. Anyway, I hope you did well. I will see you at morning meeting, and I hope you have a fantastic day today. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.